Steven Toronto, CBS Sports. Ben, I wanted to follow up on something you said about how Chicagoland needs a little dusting off before its race on July 4th weekend. I know Carson Hocevar took a couple of photos of the track in its current state about 2 months ago, but can you talk about the condition of the facility and what work needs to be done in order to have it race ready by next year?
Yeah, for sure. So we have a facility development team that has made several site visits out to the racetrack and have taken a look at it. I think the good news is it's relatively race ready. So, we'll probably have to we'll probably have to replace some of the safer foam. We'll probably have to put a fresh coat of paint on it, clean up some of the grandstands, renovate some of the suite areas. There's some parking areas that need to be repaved. So we're gonna have a long kind of list of improvements that we'll need to make to the facility, and we'll make that well in advance of the time that we come there in July. And then, in addition to that, we had a meeting this morning to talk about Homestead-Miami Speedway as well. And, it's important for us that when we take the industry and all of our fans down to Homestead, that it feels like a first class championship venue. So we're going to be making improvements to the seating there, to the optics of the facility, the midway area, a lot of our suites and hospitality areas. We're working on a long list of capital improvements that we'd like to make to Homestead. And it's not dissimilar from just overall how we've thought about making investments in our tracks in the past few years, whether it's the LA Memorial Coliseum. We've learned through the street race in downtown Chicago how expensive it is to erect a temporary course in a setting like that. So, really important for us to, continue to invest in all of our tracks and facilities and make sure that when our fans come in every single weekend, that it feels like a first class experience.
And then just to follow up on what you said about the Chicago Street Course, obviously that was an event that attracted a lot of new fans to NASCAR. And since you're still going to have a Chicago race in the area, can you talk a little bit from a strategy standpoint about how to get people who maybe came out to the street race those 3 years to go out to Joliet and see a race in maybe an environment that was more in the past cater to a traditional NASCAR fan, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. We would love to have fans that went to Chicago Street Race or Chicagoland or anywhere in America for that matter come join us in Joliet next summer, because it is going to be something special. It's something that a lot of fans have been asking for the past 5 or 6 years, and we want to find a way, even though we're not going to be in downtown Chicago, to bring a lot of those fans and a lot of, to your point, a lot of new consumers that have never had the chance to experience NASCAR before and bring them out to Juliet next year in 2026. And hopefully it's a path for us to be back in downtown Chicago at some point in the future too. We've said we'd like to potentially be back there in 2027. That remains to be seen, but that has been such an important event for us. It's been great for our core fans. It's been fantastic for engaging and bringing new fans into our sport and a lot of partners as well. And you saw NBC covered it really well the first year. TNT's done a great job this year as well. So, we're excited about going back to Chicagoland and keeping the door open to return to the streets of Chicago.